Hello everyone, welcome to EDU 10,004. We finished our first assignment and we're moving on to assignment 2. So I'm just going to talk you through some of the elements tonight and let you know how to get started and how we're going to help you through this assignment. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've gone into my dashboard here, headed over to assignments, and let's head to assignment 2 essay, learning modes. Okay, so we've got an essay. We have a word limit of 2,000 words plus or minus 10%. We have a weighting of 50% and it's due Monday of week 8. Please don't be overwhelmed by the weighting of 50%. We do have 2,000 words, so it's a nice generous word count. However, you're going to put lots of effort into this, but you're going to be rewarded with 50% of your grades before you head into the end of the teaching period, so you can feel really confident that you've worked hard, and you won't be so stressed right at the end of the teaching period knowing you've got 70% of the weighting under your belt. Okay, so we've got our assignment overview. I'm not going to read through this with you, all the details are there, because I want to head over and help you out with some tips. I've made a couple of tip sheets that I thought might help you. So there's our assignment overview and our unit learning outcomes, 3 and 6. Let's head straight to our assignment details. Okay, so we're going to write a descriptive essay and we're given our title. It says, describe 2 different modes of learning and how they align with contemporary education theories and inform the work of teachers. Okay. So there's a few things to cover in there, and our lovely learning designers have helped us out here. So under the assignment details, it says, this essay requires you to work through a number of stages which are outlined in your weekly learning materials and learning group discussions during the planning and writing of the assignment, and it may be helpful to use the following steps to approach and develop your essay. So again, I'm not going to read through this, but what the learning designers have done is they've gone through the criteria and they've stepped you through how you could approach this assignment. So they've taken the key elements within our rubrics, things like benefits, limitations, what the theory represents, all this sort of thing, and it's in there. So have a look through there. I'm going to add in here, it says here in the last point of 2, it says use clear headings and subheadings and paragraphs in this essay to add clarity to your writing. So that's not really typical of an essay. However, with such a generous word count and knowing that we're a first year unit, we are encouraged to use headings and subheadings in our essay. It will help you organize your points, structure your essay, and make it easier for the reader to follow your arguments. So it's a little bit different. So you're going to start with the weekly learning materials. Our chapter 3 is going to help you a lot there. And there's those links that are going to help you in our student portal. Let's head over to our assignment criteria. So this is where the rubber meets the road. We have 5 criteria. Let's very quickly look at these. So researching 2 theories and describing how they align with learning and teaching, including the limitations and benefits of each theory. Number 2, descriptions of learning modes, describing how they are connected with the 2 theories. Number 3, description and practical examples of how the modes of learning and theories can be used in education settings. 4, this relates to the structure of the essay. So we'd like an introduction, conclusion, and discussion. And again, this is concerned with the writing, logical and coherent structure of the essay, your English language skills, etc., including citation and referencing. Okay, so we're using those 5 criteria, and our ELA team moderate a number of samples, so there's consistency across our our team for grading. So let's have a tiny look at the descriptors. So this starts with the pass, and we're going to go down all the way to high distinction. We're just going to have a really quick look at the pass criteria. Some people are really overwhelmed with the 50% weighting of this assignment. Others are a little bit anxious about the 2,000 word count. Don't worry, let's have a quick look at what it takes to pass this assignment, because we'd really like to help you through this, and then you can feel confident. Okay, so to pass this assignment, we need an introduction. We need you to introduce the topic and the content of your essay. We need paragraphs, so you're going to have a key idea in each paragraph. This essay includes descriptions of the learning modes and 2 theories, and the theories align with the types of learning in the descriptions. So you're going to tell us how the learning mode and the theory aligns one with another. And an attempt has been made to draw connections between theoretical, broader societal and educational context. Don't worry about that. I've got a document I've made to help you out with that one. You're going to use research and literature. You're going to cite and reference, give that a go, and your English language skills. So we want some real clear and logical discussions. Okay, that's what it takes to pass this essay. Let's find some more things that will help you out with that. So the first thing is, what are you going to choose? So you've been given your title of your essay, and now you need to choose a learning mode and a theory, and you're going to discuss those together, and then another learning mode and a theory. So activity 4.5 comes in this week. It's not a required task in the meaning that you complete it along with your ELA and your learning group and discuss it. However, we highly recommend it. So it tells us what a learning mode is. So we've been covering theories a lot, and now we're starting to talk about learning modes. So a learning mode is a component of learning constructed by different paradigms. There are many ways of defining learning, and you're going to discuss 2 of these. So we've got the learning mode problem solving and the accompanying theory humanism. And we've got the learning mode of motivation and the accompanying theory of behaviorism. So that's a nice little pairing. So these 3 pairings here, they're not required for you to use in your assignment. However, you are highly encouraged to use these. Our learning designers have created these pairings. You'll find they're very easy to research. When you start looking into it, you'll see why these have been paired. You're going to start looking at things like the limitations and the benefits of each of them, and you'll see that you can compare and contrast these pairings quite easily. So while this isn't a requirement, we highly recommend that you choose one of these 3 pairings. Okay, so don't forget activity 4.5. Now, I've made you a Padlet, so it's a bit like last time. This time our Padlet has ice creams all over it, so you won't get confused with the last one, and it makes me happy because it's all pretty. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to start here, and you're listening to the flipped collaborate. So in here, I've tried to put as many links as possible. We've got the assignment details. How are we going to help you get through this assignment? So you're listening to the flipped or recorded collaborate. We're going to have a couple of live brainstorming sessions with our ELA team, and we're going to have a last minute Q&A opportunity. So just before it submits, I'm really not sure, that one little thing, you can turn up and ask a couple of our lovely ELAs. Okay, what I've popped in here is, I'll pop the dates, times and links in here so you can head straight to our live collaborate sessions. Once it's completed, I will pop the recordings there as well. We've got our live brainstorm collaborate slides. So just like last time, sometimes it's nice to look over there, say, I really don't know what that means. Look, I can see we're actually going to brainstorm that together. makes me feel a bit better. Some people print them off and write all over them while they're live in the session, and then that becomes the basis or your notes to begin your assignment. Over here, I've tried to help you with as many frequently asked questions as are relevant. Don't want to overwhelm you, but I also want to give you a little bit of a one-stop shop to help you out. So the first thing is, which learning modes and theories can you choose? Again, it's not stipulated in our assignment details. However, we really encourage you to head to activity 4.5, where we just were, with these recommended pairings. So have a little look there and see if any of those suit you. And how we're going to write, of course, we're going to be in an essay, so we're going to be third person. We're readings. Do I spend a lot of time on theorists or theories? Really, you might mention a theorist, but you're really going to spend more time explaining and describing the theories themselves. How many references do I need? Formatting, citation, all this sort of stuff. One of the things that is often asked is, when you do your limitations and benefits, how many should you use? It's a really good idea to look into the benefits and limitations and identify a couple of key ones and really delve deeply into those and show us that you understand those. Okay, so the other thing is, I have made a couple of tip sheets. Over here we have an exemplar, so head there if you would like to see one way to approach this assignment. Please note that this exemplar does not use headings and subheadings. You are encouraged to do so, however. That's a really good example of a well-structured essay. I've tried to pop some more points in there. So over here, you've seen this before. This is all your student portal resources, help, where to go if you need some help. And I've got a couple of tip sheets. So I'm going to head over here and start with the first tip sheet. Okay, so we're encouraged in our assignment details to choose from these three options for our learning mode and theory pairings. So I've just popped them there for you. And this is the link to that page, so that will help you out. And we're encouraged to use headings and subheadings. So what I've done is I've just thought, oh, how would I attack this assignment? This is probably how I would structure my headings and subheadings. So again, this is just one way to approach it. It doesn't mean that a different way is wrong in any way. It's just sometimes I find that students can feel a little bit more confident when they see it the way another person's going to approach it. Oh yeah, mine looks a bit like that. Oh, I'm covering the same points. Excellent, off you go. Please do it how suits you best. I'd start with an introduction. I do my learning mode and the theory that goes with it. So for instance, I might have chosen problem solving as my learning mode, and humanism is the theory that goes with it. So I'm going to define, describe, explain it there. Then I'm going to look into the benefits and limitations. Then I'm going to look at the wider educational context of these. I'm going to give some examples in the learning environment. Oh, you know, this is what a teacher could do. They might arrange their learning environment this way. They might use their daily timetable that way. You can give something really specific for those. And I'm going to say how this theory assists educators. Then I would go into my next one. Okay, now I'm going to look at motivation, my learning mode, and behaviorism, my theory, and I'm going to do the same thing again and head over to my conclusion. So the other thing I've made is this tip sheet. So this is taken straight from the criteria, and what I've tried to do is go over all of the things that are expected and pop it in a table. And a lot of people get overwhelmed with, oh, how do I actually write that? So I've put them in quotes. Utilizing these theories will assist the educator's decisions by. So those ones might just be a little bit of a kickstart for you as you as you begin your assignment. So please make sure that you jump in, ask all your ELAs all of your questions, and all of the best, everyone.